All right, guys, welcome back to my renewed channel. This is Lunar Grace, and I am your co-pilot, Christina. Well, the good news wasn't for a long time, when we were talking about Venus and Jupiter trine, like 4 days ago, which was really, really beautiful and loving energy in the sky. But right now, today, I'm going to actually analyze Mars and Uranus square, which is starting today, the 23rd, and it's going to continue to be a square until March 3rd, but it's gonna be exact actually on February 27th. All right. So, if you're new to my channel, please, subscribe to my channel, give me a chance. And, I am a person who really, really into asteroids and Arabic lights and Firdaria, all kind of techniques, but also fixed stars as well. And I really love history and geopolitics. And I always going to talk about that. So as I'm going to talk about your individual's, chart as well every single time. If not much, because sometimes I don't have a lot of time, but at least a few sentences I'm going to analyze the square for you. Okay, so what you have to actually understand right now, what we're going to happen, it's happening the square and opposition and conjunction between Mars and Uranus happens quite often. Last time when we had the conjunction between Uranus and Mars, 2024 actually, and it was July when Trump got shot in the year. Okay, we were talking about that, guys. So right before we even start, you have to understand I also teach you a little bit over here, and I tell you what to check, for example, in a chart, and what is the keywords we are actually going to analyze the recent chart, and it has to be based on mythology, right? And it has to be based on like also the planetary keywords as well. So right now Uranus is in Taurus and Mars is actually in Aquarius. Those are fixed times, so it's very heavy energy. Uranus, you know what is Uranus, guys? Uranus is the planet of chaos, the unexpected, the rebel. It is a very unique energy. I do love Uranus because Uranus also rules genius as well. But it's disruption. It is anything to do with rebellion, anything to do with detachment. Uranus also awakening, but many and it brings liberation, but many times it is psychotic and erotic behavior as well, and very, very unpredictable, right? So Uranus used the nervous system, electric shocks and seizures, also some kind of spasm, some kind of sudden illnesses. Uranus actually bacterial infections and neurological issues as well. Um, in mundane world, Uranus is any kind of revolution, something to do with tech advancement, AI, space exploration. It rules the internet, it rules social media, actually, any kind of electric grid, cyber warfare, or cyber attacks, hacking, surveillance is as well. And if you are watching the news, probably you are a little bit concerned, perhaps you're also being scared, just like me, because of it seems like the Palantir CEO is unhinged, not just Peter Thiel, the other one, I forget his name, coked up all the time and talking about the joy of killing people sometimes with this surveillance technology. And Palantir is going to be, and they want to impose on us, and they want to surveillance us every single step we are making. Right now, they put in the cars, in the new cars, a car kill, which means like they can stop you anywhere. And they say because of, the criminals, they can stop the cars and, easier to get them. But actually, it is to control the average Joes like us. In finances, and in profession, also Uranus is cryptocurrency and inventors, for example, anything to do with developers, but most likely and mostly data analysis, electric vehicle engineers, for example, scientists and the anarchists as well. Um, and on market and trading, it is uranium, lithium, electricity, tech stocks, cryptocurrency, electric vehicle like Lucid, Tesla, BYD, any kind of electric vehicle anyway. And, blockchains as well. It also rules SpaceX like SpaceX and any kind of other, space stocks as well. It is also the market flashes and crashes. And right now, because we also have Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries, where Saturn is in fall, and I told you guys the market manipulation and Trump going to impose another tariff. And even if the Congress ruled against, he's still threatening with 15% additional tariff again. So obviously that is going to bring in market manipulation again. All right. So I called it out Mexico going to have a civil war. I called it out also 2 years ago that it's gonna be a war against cartel, and something to do, and they're going to kill and imprison cartel bosses. So it's in my videos. You can actually credit that to me. So it's all over. And also what I was talking about, also, they're going to capture Maduro. I said it like over 18 months ago, and said when they will, and it's happened. Um, but we will actually check a lot of countries today again. I mean, I will check how much time I have because I always have to do something else, but I'm trying to do my best over here. So yes, that is Uranus over here. And let's talk a tiny little bit about actually Mars, because Mars is very important as well in these pictures, right? And Mars is anything to do with, for example, fight and war and courage to it's bravery as well. It rules the military actions as well, anything to do with war itself. And when these two planets going to square or conjunct or oppose each other, it's going to bring in some kind of major trouble. And Mars Uranus usually could be something to do with, electricity grid going to be off or on fire. It could be like the nuclear, powerhouses can actually explode. It could bring in airplane crashes, for example. Plus, we have to also say Uranus also in fall in Taurus as well. And we just had an eclipse, and we are between eclipse season, but the last eclipse, but I mean the first eclipse of the year, we had it in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Both of them are in fall, and Uranus was squaring the eclipse. And right now, where the eclipse happened, Mars just screwed up on that point and squaring Uranus, and Uranus still on Argol. And our goal is being, beheaded, anything. It's trouble. It's a very very heavy energy, right? A very bad fixed star, and it's representing actually falling from grace. It's representing chaos and in disturbance, especially with Uranus and Uranus being on fire. So definitely something to do with financial market, temporary, manipulated. It is also war because Mars is the war. It's most likely drone wars. And because I checked a few countries right before, guys, that's why I was like, okay, so that could be something to do with or something to do with UFO invasion as well. It could be. And because it's Mars, it's some kind of inflammation. It could also bring in some kind of inflammation. Mars is in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, right? And Aquarius rules the 11th house, but Aquarius itself, the air sign could bring in some kind of bacterial infection some kind of disruption with like networking or humanitarianism or with social movements. So it could be like people like us who are talking the truth could be, censored drastically, for example. It's actually stopping the progress because Aquarius loves the progress. Uranus would love to have progress, but in fall, energy is squaring with Mars, not necessarily. So it could bring in, and Uranus is in the sign of agriculture, which is Taurus, right, in fall. It could bring in some kind of issue with the codes. It could bring in some kind of issue with, like high frequency energy, which is going to bring in a lot of migraine. And as I said, it is also surveillance issues. It is also something to do with nuclear power, force flag operations, right? Because Mars is also the soldier, the general soldier, right? And squaring with Uranus, it could indicate like right now, because of the war going to be escalated around the world, more young kids going to fall in on the field, on the battlefield. But itself, like with Uranus, also it could be like an other, not Woodstock, but like peace protests, like they don't want to go to war and they're going to be against the government, and even if they're going to try to draw people in, they're just going to resist. Uranus is also craziness. Mars, a lot of people going to have PTSD and suiciding, because of the war, but because what they had to do or what they didn't have to do, but what they done, and that's going to bring in and actually increase the suicide rates like significantly as well. But yes, it could bring in also mad cow disease, meningitis. Actually, it could be some kind of meningitis breakout as well. We can see that in the news. So yes, it's not the best news, guys. And I just wanted to actually share the chart with you. I'm just going to share this chart first, which is, let me see if I can, no, this one over here. This is the chart, what I wanted to share. Yes, here. Let me see. Okay. Yes, so you can see clearly Mars and Uranus square over here in the sky, right? All right. But during the same time, we still have Jupiter and the Moon already in Cancer right now on February 27, and it is trining with Venus-Mercury conjunction. So obviously, there is some kind of humanitarian, nurturing project coming with this kind of escalated war situation. So people going to be more aware, more compassionate, and trying to help each other. So always chaos and hardship bringing people together. So that's what you have to know. That's always happening. I realize that because I live in a hurricane affected area, and whenever we have hurricane, people are a lot nicer. They try to help each others and things like that. So yes, that could be one of the outcome. Let me just pause the recording. All right, guys, sorry, I needed to feed my children again. So let me see. Side by side, I'm going to try to share this, but I wanted to share with you. Let me see. Okay. So here it is. So this is Uranus and Mars square, and during that exact square, we're also going to have some kind of supportive aspect. As I said, also the Sun and North Node. The Sun is not necessarily very strong in Pisces. However, the Sun and North Node, that is the collective shift, and also Saturn Neptune is a collective shift because it's in 0 degrees. It was actually on the world axis conjuncting, but the North Node and Sun, it is the collective shift, and it is trining with Jupiter and the moon conjunction Jupiter is exalted, and also it is trining with Venus, and Mercury and Venus is exalted. So this is a saving grace over here in the worst scenario, right? I was talking about the hurricanes as well, when we do have hurricanes, and like people are more compassionate. So that's what we're going to feel during this time, because it is a very disruptive, very, very, very heavy energy. So yes, we were talking about Mexico last time. And you know what I want to ask you guys? When I show the chart, and if you see something else what I don't see, and sometimes I quickly have to go over, then just make that in the comment. Okay, Christy, did you see this and this? Can it be, do you think it means, like something else, for example? And you just put your opinion over there. Yes, and also, guys, I told you, I see you, and all my supporters, true supporters, and I see who is hyping my videos, who is sharing, and then I definitely will, take care of you guys. I always going to, I have a good heart. I always giving gift as well. And I also wanted to mention over here something right now because of Uranus Mars. It's also a lot of surveillance, not just surveillance attack as well, but social platform attack as well. Trolls. It means trolls. And right now, I was watching at the Kyle um, Lewinsky, the Polish guy, Polish Italian guy who is very democratic, but he has a really good podcast, and he was talking about the trolls. For example, in low income countries, or where the GDP is very low, or most of the people are non-consumers. They are paying low-income people to become trolls and bots, and attacking you. So right now, I made the decision. I have few trolls, and I believe because of the algorithm. Whenever I talk about Middle East, or the massacre, or even some kind of pandemic as well, the algorithm, like obviously get the bots on me. And right now I realized I'm not going to fight with people or trolls or bots who don't have face on YouTube. They are just numbers, and they claiming things which is like, like it's invalid, and they just want to actually bring disgrace on me or discredit me, but without receipt. So if you want to have an argument or a debate with me, or but intelligent debate, then please, I welcome that. And I'm a big girl. If I made a mistake, I'm going to own it. I'm capable to own that. But my intention is truly to help, and it's pure, and I really do want to help people. So let me know, what do you feel over here, but I'm not going to, not willing to answering bots and trolls, because it just draining my energy, and sometimes I am like, that's what they want me to give up. So here it is. Okay, what else the sky is telling during this time? You see, we have this really, really bad square over here, but we also have actually Saturn, Neptune is trining with Pluto, and Pluto is Aquarius, in Aquarius, which is going to actually allow us to oppose the surveillance, and oppose and push back on for example, constant censorship as well, because that could be as well, and this sextile going to allow us. And Jupiter moon over here, and the moon is in rulership, Jupiter is in exaltation, and Venus also exalted. There is good news around families and family values, or I assume because Mercury is studying as well, and because of many countries gonna be civil wars all over the world right now. people not going to allow the children to go to school. So the schooling, going to the way the children going to study, it's gonna actually be more like homeschooled somehow. And Mercury also small community, especially in Gemini, you know. So that's what I see, like communities together and teaching their children. They're not allowing them to go to dangerous places, and a lot of people going to keep them at home. And then I'm going to come over here. Which one is that? I think this one. And I want to show a few charts for you. So I do have a lot of asteroids right in front of me. And I put a few in for you already. Okay. I wanted to find Rothschild, but they don't have Rothschild asteroid, or at least I didn't find it. Okay. So let's see, who did I? Oh, Jeffrey Monster, Pedo Epstein. All right. So that's what I actually brought up over here. And you know, they say right now, I just wanted to check the chart. And actually, I will check the chart February 27 when it's squaring, because of it seems like he's still alive. You know, there is a lot of weird stuff happened the day before he killed himself, whatever. You know, committed suicide. They want us to buy that. But, you know, I was like, okay, let's see the chart over here. So what does he have? So, all right. So Mars is actually in the second house, which is monetization, anything to do with money. And then it's going to square Uranus in the fifth house. Okay. Does it do anything else in this chart? And, you know, if he is really dead, which, you know, I don't think so, but I'm curious about your opinions, actually, guys. All right. Hmm. The fifth house is something about joy and investment, but joy as well. Right now it's squaring, maybe because of if he is alive and the list came out, you know, he has to be extra careful. But if he been seen on the camera in Israel, you know, and that's really him, then he's not really being careful. So he might going to have some kind of you know, major issue because of he been seen already. He did have, and he does have Pluto in Leo, which is fixed sign, 22 degrees, guys. I told you only fixed sign, 22 degrees, kill and to be killed, but he is a murderer. He is, you know, not only cannibal, but you know, a pedophile, and so that's Plutonian energy says a lot about him, right? And I don't want to, let me see, where is his ascendant in 12 degrees? Okay. And Donald is 21 degrees, so yeah, it does conjunct with Donald. But you know, it's a wide conjunction over here. All right, I'm gonna go to another chart because you know, like I don't want to actually analyze something on suspicion. I just want to go actually, let's see Trump again, because you know he's center of attention, and I want to see Trump here. All right, let's see February 27th, Uranus on his midheaven. Pluto is on asteroid Epstein, opposing with his progress midheaven, and Saturn is here in 5 degrees of Leo. You have to trust me. And his progress moon is 24 degree, actually, Scorpio, opposing this Uranus. So he is actually could have major issues, right? And let me see. So Mars is also squaring this moon, which is homeland, but also it's female as well. Some kind of perhaps, yeah, and it's also squaring with his ascendant opposing. He has a T square, and it's very bad because of it also involves his family as well. So his family is going to be, or a female again in his family can be in some kind of major trouble right now because of Mars and the progress moon is squaring. Yes, he has a lot of planet in the eighth house right now. So that is also something to do with, like eighth house is could be snake bite. It causes poison, it causes chemotherapy, for example, IV therapy, things like that. But he has exalted Venus Mercury over there, which could actually bring him a lot of money, or for retirement or inheritance, right? But it's more like legacy money for the family. However, Pisces also means imprisonment as well. He going to have the last eclipse at 4 degree in August 28 in the eighth house for him. Does it do anything? Yes, it's going to square with Uranus by that time in Gemini in the 11th house, which is losing alliances or could be actually some kind of surgery because of neurological issues. So his health is definitely way down. But at this moment, it's more like falling, totally falling and collapsing from he thinks he is in grace. And also Icarus is over there, 19 degrees, and Mars is 27 degrees, 8 degrees between them. Usually with asteroids, we only choose 3 degrees between them, but 8 degrees, it's really close to Mars. And also it does oppose Mars for him, natal Mars in the chart. So going close to the fire, and he is falling from that. He's falling from grace, and Mars is going back, and Mars is on his part of fortune, and Mars oppose Mars over here. So open enemy could attack him again with a gun or knife when he is on stage, when he is doing something, traveling. Uranus is traveling with airplane, drone, whatever, some kind of frequency, like which is not necessarily a gun. We have seen that in Charlie Kirk case, right? Which is very weird again, and I'm going to do an investigative astrology over there, and we're going to talk about that. So yes, it's as you can see, this square is terrible for Trump again. And the I told you guys the eclipse is like 2 years as well for him. So if you check the US here again, let's see what's going on with the US with the Sagittarius ascendant in the third house. Oh, on the moon. Oh, that's not good because Uranus is military, but it could be also like the people going to wake up and going to protest, anything to do with the union. And also it could be the military operation, the regular people, the regular fighters, the regular soldiers going to actually stand up and say, like, if you want to actually militarize the street, we are not going to go with you, we're gonna go against you. It could be also police force is against, for example, ICE, right? Because that could be like two kind of like the neighborhood, which is the government. Aquarius is anything to do with the state government, is against, for example, the government military. So the state military is against the government military. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. Plus, you see, Saturn Neptune is opposing midheaven in Libra. I told you guys that is like a lot of people will have to sign off and going to be. Neptune is imprisoned. Saturn is consequences from falling grace, from Pem Bondi and like Kash Patel, they will be imprisoned. Not just yet, but really, really soon. Really soon. Yes, Jupiter actually it's being on the Sun and asteroid lie as well. So it's exalting the lie of the government of the country, unfortunately, right now at this moment. And it is also squaring Saturn in Libra. So it's squaring against Saturn is the government itself. So the lie of the government is actually, which is the lie is going to be exposed because Jupiter is exposing things which was hidden in the eighth house, and it's about justice and the government. So, I really hope this Uranus and Mars, maybe Putin gonna say, I have the fires also. Why not? I'm going to release that. Or I believe Korea had it because Epstein really worked for everyone, guys, and manipulated everyone. And that is what it's right now. I saw the baby farms, what he wanted to and he already impregnated a lot of women. It is just like, it is crazy. It's like the worst horror movie ever. So, yes, but you can see over here, right? So this could be pretty difficult. And midheaven also, the US midheaven is the government itself as well, right? Saturn, Neptune there, this is protest against the government as well. But itself, Mars and Uranus square, it's already bringing in a lot of protests. So yes, we had the Pluto return. Let's move forward. I saw, I'm going to actually check Putin. And you know what? I don't like Putin also. He's a dictator. So don't come with that. At least he's not in the Epstein list as a pedophile. He is in the Epstein list so far. But if you heard something else or read something else, please bring the receipt. I want to know as much as I possibly can. But so far, I only know he bought the fires as well, and he has it. All right, so that's Putin or Russia. That's Putin. Okay, so Uranus and Mars, it's in the fourth house and in the seventh house. Wow. All right, he can actually be attacked on the homeland, and he will somehow have some kind of, like open enemies, Uranus in the seventh house for him. And that's quite frankly could be bad, but also it could bring in some kind of he going to become sick, Uranus and Mars. The fourth house, he gonna be bedridden. The fourth house also funerals and ending of matters and death as well. So Mars and Uranus could be, like somehow maybe somebody is uh, achieving some kind of attack against him and he could be killed. He has a Scorpio ascendant, but nothing in here. Let me see. Oh, all right. Pluto is squares with his ascendant. That also not the best for him. But that definitely, if somebody is a dictator, Putin is very, very scared from poison. And oh, I don't know if you guys heard it, but George just told me actually, when a president goes to another country, they have someone who collect their feces and their urine and everything, not to leave any DNA behind. This is crazy. And they don't, receive any, usually they don't drink any water. You can see most of them are very paranoid to take anything because they can get poisoned. This is like a highest cartel or highest mafia ever. If you saw or if you read the book from uh, Whitney Webb, oh my God, I love that woman. She's so intelligent, so young, but she's a genius, and she did a lot of research, and and her knowledge is like very impressive. I wish I still would have that kind of brain. I mean, I'm not complaining, but like she's just a genius woman. And read the book, One Nation Under Blackmail. It's 2 volume. Oh my God, that book is like insanely good. You will understand everything about the Epstein file. Or just watch the series, The House of Cards. Very similar. It's like almost like the what is the other movie when everybody kills each other? It's like the Throne. I forgot. Okay, I forget that movie, but it's a medieval and they behead everyone and betray everyone. That is what's happening right now. It's crazy. It's like insane. Okay, so that is Putin over here. Let me see, BB. Benzion Milekowiski, who actually was born in Warsaw and not Tel Aviv, by the way. However, okay, here it is. His chart Sagittarius rising, yes. And then, he has a stellium in the fourth house also. Does it square? Yes, it squares with the ascendant, and the eclipse going to square with his ascendant August 28th. But let's see right now what's going on with this hmm, Uranus in the sixth house of head. Mars is in the third house. It's local community, neighborhood, countries. Oh, shush. Neighborhood countries, Uranus, Mars. Yeah, okay. All right. Uranus is on Argo. Does it do anything else? It's also squares Pluto and Mars in his ninth. By the way, Pluto Mars conjunction always a dictator or evil people. And even if the moon is involved also, ugh, that's like a very, very difficult personality. Yes, and in the ninth house. So actually, he could get attacked somehow during also flight somehow. Yeah, but neighborhood countries, he could be in trouble because of he is attacking neighborhood countries and they hit back. And then he has, yeah, the midheaven in 10 degrees Libra and Saturn going to oppose really soon to it, so he could be in major trouble. And Uranus Mars conjunction going to oppose his ascendant also, guys, in July 4th when America has the 250th birthday. Okay. And it's also going to square the North Node. So the land itself going to kick him out. So the people of Israel, hopefully, some of them waking up and they going. A lot of them actually is protesting against the government. Yes. Oh, and Ixion and the moon and Neptune conjunct with the midheaven also. Okay, and Saturn gonna oppose. That's not the best for him. So there is a lot of pressure. But as I said, dictators, they are all fear for their life because they are evil people. And they want to be immortal and they are yeah. Okay, let me see what's going on here with Israel. Hmm. So it's going to be in the fifth and the eighth house, and Uranus is on Epstein, okay, and on the Sun, and actually square with Mars over here. I would think there could be a civilian attack on Israel, something, because they said nobody can actually go through the Golden Globe or the Iron Globe, what they have, but I think there could be a civilian attack on them. Uh, Let me see. And Neptune, Saturn. Yes, it's opposing Neptune for them. Hmm. Okay, open enemies. Donald Epstein is traveling together in Aries right now. All right. Does it square with anything? Oh, yeah, it does. It does square with Jupiter. So it's going to bring in more scandals in Epstein fire, and Donald Trump gonna be more in, trouble for sure. But this one, Uranus on the sun is actually the ruler of Israel, and it's squaring with Mars. Okay, so I wonder what's gonna happen right now with Net Bibi. uh, I really wonder what's going to go on. All right, guys, what else? Let's see Orban. I want to see Orban, Victor. Uh, you know, okay. So, Jupiter is still in retrograde, but by March something, March 10th, it's gonna go direct. But it's further away and it's actually going to separating from his midheaven. It's gonna go on the North Node by the election day. But does it, yeah, at this moment it's squaring with Jupiter. Let me see. Open enemies also. and he has an ascendant. Oh, Donald is on his ascendant. So there, that's Donald Trump is supporting Orban and Saturn Neptune opposition, but the open enemies. So there is going to be a lot of open enemies for him. Let me see what else is going on. So Mars in the fifth house, Uranus is in his eighth house, and on Mercury, some kind of paperwork is coming out, and actually Mars is on his Saturn, so some kind of paperwork is coming out, what was hidden, and it's going to bring up some truth what he won't like. And he has Mars in Leo and opposing this Mars and creating a T square, which is very, 11th house is also uh, the Senate, not in Hungary, also the court system, and the Senate as well. But because of those are opposing, he also going to be in trouble because of there is some kind of paperwork what was hidden, but he didn't hide it very well, and it could bring in some kind of major issue for him. All right, let me see. Obviously, you can see I don't really like him. Let me see Venezuela again. And I'm going to check actually Mexico again. So Venezuela, this going to happen actually in the fourth house and seventh house open enemies. Whew, there is going to be a lot of fight. They're gonna fight back. Venezuelans going to fight back for the invaders. And who is the the intruders? Who are the intruders? Obviously, at this moment, it's us, the US. However, it is Uranus and the ascendant is also opposing each other's midheaven. Oh, poor Venezuela going to be in very bad shape. This is just like so much hurt, but they are fighting back because Mars is like opposition party also fighting back and claiming something what theirs. Okay, let me see. I want to check Cuba also, but first I want to check Mexico because we had the Carter War and I called that, but I want to go to other countries. Somebody asked me Spain and, Bulgaria and Romania, and I'm just gonna talk a little bit about them as well. So here it is. Which one is that? Mexico. Mexico has that in the sixth house. That is, sixth house is military operation. Uranus actually in the ninth house. It is something also to do with foreign countries as well. Export import going to stop right now, and obviously it is stopping, and they're not even able to allow any kind of airplanes right now in also because there could be some kind of major issues with that. Let me see. So Saturn Neptune is in the eighth house. Eighth house is cartel and mafia. Hades. Neptune itself, it is something to do with cartel. It's opposing the North Node. Saturn, it's like death. They actually killed one of the new cartel leader, which is created that kind of huge, like fight back from the cartel. The government is not really strong. I really like the lady, but it's not strong. And let me see what's gonna go on. Uranus gonna go on their Jupiter. It's gonna square with the North Node, open enemies. So there could be some kind of invasion from other countries, or they might gonna move in to help. They're gonna say we are helping you, and actually they can take over. That's what happened with Hungary many times. So yeah, obviously it could happen. But this could be really, really bad. It is like obviously the sixth house is something to do with their private hospitals, anything to do with their military, and military going to be in action right now, and they have to be. Yeah. Mm. Oh, and it's opposing their Mars also in the 12th house hidden operation against them. Oh, I don't like that. lot of hospitalization, for example. 12th house itself also narco terrorism, narco as well. So, it rules the cartel mafia, but also rules big pharma as well. It's also narco terrorism. So, but that could be, it's going to right now become bigger, unfortunately, for a while. Unfortunately. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna give you other countries over here. What is this? Okay. What did I bring up here? Romania, right? Yes, Romania. 1862 February 3rd. I have a lot of chart for Romania and Hungary as well because of when they get some area, when they lost some area. But I'm going with Astro team charts. I just made a decision. So to be clear over here, they have the moon in Aries, right? And it is because Saturn, Neptune by transit, it's on Aries. And it could be very difficult, for example, for the people of the Romanian people squaring with the North Node in the 10th house, which is representing the government. There is also distraction, and there is also, like major trouble between the general people and the government here as well. Um, and then they do have 29 degrees Mercury. Mars is over here by transit, and it is squaring Uranus in the second house. 11th house is, tribes. It's their law and order as well. And, there will be also, it could be some kind of attack and cyber attacks as well for them. So, which is going to attack actually the court system and their legal system, for example, and want to crash their legal system. But this one itself, Saturn, Neptune on the moon squaring North Node, it's very heavy for Romania. And then because of Uranus, also something to do with rebellion, Mercury over there. They're going to start something on social media first, like a huge protest. It starts on social media, and they're going to move forward and, definitely rebel against the government. So there is a social unrest for Romania as well. I think the whole world is on fire right now. Let me see this country. What is this country? Spain. Somebody asked for Spain. And, here it is. There is a late ascendant, 24 degrees Sagittarius. So actually, Sagittarius is the first house because I do whole sign astrology. So then Mars actually by transit it's their third house, and Uranus is in their sixth house actually. So there is also military operation. There is also actually in neighborhoods. It's almost like certain neighborhoods in Spain is under fire for some reason. And because that they also have Saturn, Neptune in the fifth house, that's Neptune is immigration issues, and it's opposing, the 11th house, which is justice. And also the sun, I mean, it's only in 1 degree, and the sun is 13 degrees. So 12 degrees, it's a very, very wide opposition, but it's already started to oppose. So Spain government also under, pressure, major pressure. And because of Neptune is immigration policies, perhaps because of some kind of immigration policies as well. And the fifth house, because of if the Sagittarius rising Aries is in the fifth house by horse sign, the fifth house is some kind of sport leagues. It could be football or soccer teams. So they can actually they cannot protest. The soccer players going to protest in Spain for some reason, or they could have some kind of major issues, some kind of legal issues, perhaps as well. But definitely there is, or Spain Oh, God forbid, because when we had Saturn Neptune conjunction, we had the Spanish flu. We're talking about Spain today, and right now Uranus is bacterial infection. The Spanish flu actually was not a virus; it was a bacterial infection. And then, here, because of Mars is in Aquarius, something spreading very quickly, and it could be some kind of pandemic, some kind of new virus coming from Spain as well. Yes, and their 10th house, they have actually Uranus and Mars in 12 degrees. Does it do anything? Capricorn, they don't have nothing. Jupiter, no, nothing. Okay, so nothing. Just the South Node is here, close by to Mars. Yeah, the South Node is there, but okay. Uranus. Oh, Uranus and the ascendant is squaring in their natal chart. So there could be, like instability in the government, definitely in natally itself. And yeah, when Uranus gonna move in April, it's gonna square Saturn, Jupiter in the land, the fourth house, which is patriotism and the land as well, and how to protect the land. And then it's going to be a lot of, in April, it's going to be for Spain a lot of social unrest and because of policy of immigration policies, immigration. All right, what else can we say over here? If you have another chart and if you want to bring that in and analyze, I'm happy to see that. What is this over here? This is Hungary. That is another chart for Hungary. I'm not gonna do Hungary right now. Let me see. Bulgaria. Let me do Bulgaria for you guys. I did Slovakia before and South Africa, but right now Bulgaria. Uranus is in the sixth house also for them, and they also have a 9-degree moon. Pluto gonna go on the moon. Oh, and then Mars is also in the third house squaring with Uranus in the sixth. There could be also major, but this is just so small communities. So they're not going to rebel and protest like together. Unfortunately, it seems like groups protesting together. So one group is belong from here, this party, one group is there, and they protest against each others. Yes, and they do have actually what they have an 11 degree sun, so Saturn gonna oppose. So they also need to change actually the leader of the government as well. I feel that way. Yes. And then let me see. Uranus is going to square the eclipse in August, end of August. So that is also something to do with a wake-up call for the people, and it is a lot of protest as well on the land. Yes. They have a yod. Okay. Jupiter is in the eighth house. On Neptune, a lot of lies going on, a lot of illusion, and especially which affects the money, the treasury. For Bulgaria, something about the money and treasury there. Hmm. Yes. But the housing could be maybe more affordable for some reason for them, even if it is squaring with the sun. Yeah, but it's going to actually separate soon the square. So yeah, the housing could be more affordable. But the money and treasury, it's missing money, stolen money. They miss you know um, mishandle the money and the treasury, and that because Neptune is inflation also, so Jupiter is actually inflate their money unfortunately badly. All right, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not the best, news over here, and I'm going to stop sharing. I'm gonna just talk a tiny little bit about each individual signs, and I'm gonna start actually with Aries, that it's going to happen for you. All right, so Mars is going to be in Aquarius for you, which is the 11th house, and then uh, Uranus going to be in your second house, Aries, rising sun and moon. So careful on social media because you can get attacked. And also, if you monetized your social media, you can be censored and somehow not get paid after that. Even if you had a gig somehow, it could somehow you can lose that side job at this moment. And be careful with friends because they might going to ask money and then they just don't want to give it back. And also a court case could turn against you, and you will need to pay the court. All right, Taurus rising sun and moon. Uranus is in your first house and Mars is in your 10th house. Oh, conflict at work, honor recognition. You might be, and they might want it to actually promote you or give you a rise, but somehow right now they taking that away from you. It could be falling from grace, like infamous, to become infamous because you reacted for something you shouldn't and you should have responded, but somehow you were very impulsive right now, very very angry and frustrated. It could be also, like you are changing your name or you wanted to change your name and somehow the bureaucratic work it didn't go through. And yeah, definitely it could be like, okay, I'm done with the corporate and I have to leave because it's poisoning my soul as well. But it could be like you are standing up for yourself and you are fighting actually for yourself with the CEO, with the boss, and you don't care what they think about you. And then if you're a Gemini rising sun and moon, it's ninth house and 12th house square over there. It could be like perhaps you're supposed to go abroad and to an island, or you should have become maybe a teacher in a hospital or some kind of like maybe a psychiatric nurse, maybe someone who is helping children who are abused, but somehow there is also bureaucratic work, paperwork over here, and something doesn't come in time and you are not capable to go. It could also delay actually a trip for you guys if you are wanna go around somewhere and it delays the trip to faraway country, or it could bring in some issues with your legal status if you live abroad, for example. And it could bring in some issues with your visa, with your passport, or it could be bring in some kind of spiritual breakdown for you. So you are not believing what you believed before. Um, so yeah, as well. It could also make you, for example, wanna go for events and perhaps you drink too much. Careful with anything which can manipulate your mind. Even if you do ayahuasca, don't do right now because of, it could hurt you, literally hurt you. It could be some kind of hidden illness, something which is attacking your liver. So careful. Cancer rising sun and moon, it is in your 11th house and 8th house. That could be like you find out one of your friend or someone who, yes, somebody from your friendship zone could be in Epstein file, or it could be someone who had shady um, business, and it's coming out from the person, and you will be like totally disgusted and also not just disgusted but scared as well, because how could I not see this person who he is or she is actually. Also, if you have some kind of prenup or medical malpractice, um, issue with justice, it could actually being prolonged or not necessarily ruled for your side or not as much as you expected before. Um, it could be also something to do with somebody from your social circle has a crush on you and hit on you or sexually inappropriate with you as well. Or, if you are on social media, 11th house, you can get a stalker because 8th house could be stalker as well. So careful with that. All right, then Leo rising sun and moon is going to happen in your 10th and 7th house. It could be a clash between your partner and career. You want to be shining in your career and you get opportunities, unexpected opportunities, but your partner not necessarily want to move because of you get a new opportunity or not necessarily, happy. It could be also a partner who is actually your business partner and you did a business together, but somehow you are the only one who is getting actually promoted and the other one can be happy for your promotion. Uh, but it could also bring in some kind of divorce because of you changing your name. 10th house is your social status. And it is like, yeah, I'm changing your name, changing my name because I get separated and I'm done with my relationship. It could be also some kind of pressure from subscribers if you have some kind of social media account. So careful with that, to make sure what you say is you know, truth and your intentions are good. If you have a Virgo rising sun and moon, it is ninth house and sixth house. That could be something to do with, work and traveling. So you wanted to go to travel somewhere, but you have to finish some kind of project and you won't be able to. Or your work promised actually they're going to pay for your schooling, but they won't pay anymore. Um, and it could be also like some kind of illness with hip issues, neurological issues, sciatica, or it could be also something to do with liver issues. So be careful with that, guys. Get a second opinion as well. All right, Libra rising sun and moon, guys. It's going to be in the eighth house and the fifth house. It is something with investment. Don't put all your money in one basket. It could be a decrease, major decrease on your account, on your stock or crypto account. I told you guys, it is going to decrease in February. March, we have a market manipulation. We're going to have war. Oh, I forgot to say that, but end of the because I didn't check Iran, but I checked Iran before previously. No, okay, I'm not talking about right now. It's Libra rising sun and moon. All right, so yes, it could be investment issue. It could be some kind of pregnancy issue. Some if you can lose a pregnancy. It could be also like some kind of romantic issue, something to do with sexuality, and you feel unattractive or you don't want to actually, you know, be with that person anymore. But it could also bring in some kind of sexual inappropriate behavior toward to you. So definitely careful there. Scorpio rising sun and moon, it is in your seventh house and it is in your fourth house. Your partner could go crazy, you know. It could be something to do with like maybe there is a major conflict with family members as well. It could be something to do with a house situation, maybe electric wire or electricity could something can get on fire. Be careful with that. But yeah, it is most likely some kind of issue you and your significant other don't agree on, maybe the way you want to renovate the house or buy the house, how much is your budget kind of situation as well, or one of you want to expand the family, the other doesn't want to do it. So yeah, definitely it could be that. And then Sagittarius rising sun and moon, it is in our third house and sixth house. Well, that could bring in conflict with neighbors. It could bring in conflict with siblings, for example. Sibling can fall ill, or one of your favorite neighbor could have a bad news. Unfortunately, maybe they are sick and you really like them. It could be something, some kind of explosion, exploding something in the neighborhood, a gas tank or something like that, maybe even a, what is that, gas station somehow. It could be also shooting in the neighborhood, for some people. That's definitely there. uh, Careful with dog bites. Your neighbor could, dog can bite you, or your dog can bite your neighbor, and then you have to go to court, right? So careful over there. Yeah, but it could bring in carpal tunnel or some kind of situation with your shoulder, frozen shoulder as well. Capricorn rising sun and moon, it is going to be this square in your second and fifth house. Well, this is your money. This is your talent. You right now feel like you have a lot of energy and you want to change the world. You want to give. You are so talented. You have a muse, but somehow it comes out terrible and you are rejected because they don't understand the uniqueness what you present right now. Also, it could be like, all right, it's a sport league, and you can go to this sport league, or your child could get this hobby, but it's gonna take a lot of money, and you have to pay a lot of money for your child's hobby. Or infertility treatment can take a lot of money away from you as well. Yes, definitely could decrease your savings somehow. So it could be some kind of loss of investment also. Don't gamble. This is terrible for gambling. Aquarius rising sun and moon, it's in your first house and fourth house. Obviously, family doesn't necessarily like right now who you become because you are rising some eyebrow. You are very outspoken, you are a rebel, and if you are a teenager or you maybe have someone in the family you rebel against, maybe your significant other want to bring in the family and elderly to the house and you just don't want to live with your mother-in-law, kind of situation could happen over there. Definitely it could bring in some kind, it could bring in some kind of jaw tension. It could bring in some kind of unexpected, um, family members could pass away unexpectedly. It could also bring in some kind of surgery for you. And careful with your stomach because the fourth house also the stomach, and because it's in Taurus, eating something, and it could be, poisonous, or not necessarily poisonous, but like spoiled meat. So it could bring in also some kind of allergic reaction as well. um, yes. The first house is your face. It could bring in migraine. Maybe because you are on the computer and some kind of EMF issue, or maybe you see the solar flare and it's 7G storm, and somehow you get affected and migraine from that. But also, it could bring in some kind of facial palsy, right? And neurological issues. So, careful with seizure. Make sure you're taking magnesium. And if you're prone to seizure, you have to have MTC oil and, ketogenic diet. So make sure you're taking care of yourself and not leaving medication on. If you are Pisces, rising sun and moon, it's in your 12th house and your third house. Well, that could be your neighbor is your hidden enemy, or it could be like, maybe there is a sibling or aunt, uncle, niece, nephew who pretend to like you, but they don't. Their intention is not good. It could be also some kind of issue. Maybe you want to buy a new home, but the neighborhood where you are buying that home, it could be like toxic, or not necessarily the best neighborhood. uh, it could be some kind of protest around you, or you see some neighbor actually to you have to call the ambulance on a neighbor because they overdose, or, domestic violence in the neighborhood, and you will have to get involved, and, you didn't really want to see that. Third house is the mind, and 12 house is something to do with addiction also. So you can get obsessed with something, maybe even stalking, maybe just research as well. It could be possibly Uranus is research. You can be obsessive with talking and talking the truth, and fighting for the unprivileged, but it could bring some kind of downfall for you. So be careful, and choose your word, choose when you going to start to fight. All right, guys. Yeah, this is not the best, actually, astrology over here. But oh, I know what I wanted to do. I'm gonna go back, and I'm going to actually share Iran, because I checked Iran, and I know that it's going to be here. It is Mexico. Where is Iran here? Uh, Islamic State of Iran here. And stop sharing. I sharing it. Okay, here. Okay, so they also have Sagittarius rising, right? So Mars is in the third house neighborhood countries, Uranus on the moon. They are attacking their people. Okay, Uranus oppose Uranus. All right, that is crap. Uranus is in the 12th house, and it's exalted. Okay, they're going to have a Jupiter return in 29 degrees also. Eighth house is mortality rate of the country, obviously, and it is squaring actually right now Jupiter in 15 degrees, squaring with their sun in Aries. It's in 10 degrees, 5 degrees away, but anyway, it does. Okay. And yes, it's neighborhood countries, military operation against their people. Do they have anything in Scorpio or Leo? They have Lilith, and what they have in Scorpio. Oh, Uranus. Yes, it's opposing with Uranus and squaring with Uranus. Okay, so that is actually, and it's recent. It's right now military operation on the moon. It's not good. It's 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 pretty bad. South node also on Saturn, and it's out of square with the moon and Uranus here. So I believe it's within a week, they go, and because Saturn, Neptune also opposing their midheaven, uh, and it's gonna be close, really close right now with their natal sun here. So yeah, I do believe Iran going to be attacked really soon. I believe between the 27th and March 5th around, they're going to be attacked. I just wanted to put that in the end because it's okay, so stop sharing. It's very important to talk about Iran. And obviously, I wanted to talk about Cuba, but next time, guys, because it's way too much countries and I can't talk about everything. But this Uranus and Mars, I just don't like it. And I always fear that. And somehow, I mean, I try not to live in fear and not to live my life, but obviously, I see the signs, and this could be difficult. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please hype my videos if you like it. And if you see something what I didn't, just point it out, bring the receipt. I told you guys right now, I'm not going to. So if you see someone to discredit me, then just check. Does it have any face? Does it have any, either numbers or because there is a lot of troll facilities right now, which is trying to discredit and change the narrative of everyone who is out there and trying to speak the truth. All right, guys, thank you so much to be here with me. Bye for now.